Hello and welcome to the October the 14th edition of the Kubernetes Contributors Summit North America Planning Meeting for the Contributor Summit in North America. Please be advised that this meeting is under the Code of Conduct of the Kubernetes project, which in short means be nice and excellent to your fellow attendees and speakers. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit blank. Nothing comes to. We updated last week the slide deck for the opening ceremony to reflect the admission requirements for the social location. I think the website was also updated. I saw a PR. I have not yet checked it, but I think it was already merged. And we need to make sure that we announce this every once in a while and also make people aware at the summit itself. And we need also to put it into the know before you go email, especially also for the European for the international folks that they need to take their passport and not their ID cards, because country ID cards are apparently not enough. So basically, you take your passport, and for the US folks, I guess, the driver license, the military identification card, and the passport card is feasible.
Yeah. Do we have a list started of reminders for things that we're going to want to remind people of several times? Because that's definitely one of them, right? Because we'll want to remind people both during the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony.
We never had a closing ceremony.
Well, the awards or something at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Whatever's at the end of the day.
Yeah. I shared. I think Josh, you were also in this discussion. I shared the template, the already ongoing template for the presentation, and there it is definitely in. And I will start another one for that we can basically show after the awards. Yeah. And regarding awards, that's the second update. I was approached by a maintainer that we should include another award last minute for someone who basically wrote over 50% of the conformance tests. And we managed, together with the CNCF and together with SIG Architecture, to have this person recognized as an award winner, and it will be listed under SIG Architecture. And I'm currently drafting the text for this. Just FYI, so we discussed this with the leads of SIG Architecture, so the leads gave their thumbs up, but he was not appointed by SIG Architecture originally because they just missed the deadline. Happens. Yeah, that's it for lead update. Bob, will you give the CNCF update?
I don't have the general CNCF update, but I do have one note. We got for those that were at EU, you remember the Kubernetes 10-year or the shirt for Kubernetes contributors. We will only have 100 of those for North America. So there's a general request that if you got one already, don't take another one. It's meant to fill in the gaps.
Oh, good, because I saved a few, and some of the volunteers were asking if I had access to any.
I also have
many. Yeah.
I also have a stockpile of some of them left over, but it's different sizes. I can give you
yeah, we will basically let's then agree, and maybe Josh, please also take this with you. So when the CNCF is building up the swag table, which they usually do before the event starts, that we I don't know, not yet pull out the Cuba Tennis shirts, and then also I take it in the announcement opening that we remind people to say like, hey, if you already have one from Paris, please let first the folks that did not join Paris take it. And I will put it into the slides.
The other thing, if this is my current inventory of the ones that I have left, but it's mostly different, like not the most common sizes.
Well, actually, what I got asked for was a bunch of mediums. So
Yeah. Medium is the one that like we even ordered more for in the 100, just because those went like real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah, and I start. Yeah, and I started. I forgot something. Sorry. I've started the sick lead call for help call out file, and it was sent to the leads so that the leads can put sick callouts in. Okay, next up is Josh.
Okay. So the order for the staff swag is off, which includes a bunch of personalized ones and then a bunch of non-personalized ones. So hopefully that will be plenty. My plan, by the way, is to actually have those in our staff room, which is next to the doc sprints. So check in there in the morning. I'll have a checklist for people. Now that we actually have put out our call for volunteers and everything else, and we have the volunteer chart, we're going to need a lot more volunteers. That includes people on this call and on the team. If your position for summit staff does not include specific duties on the day of the summit itself, you should take 1 or 2 volunteer shifts as well. Obviously, some people do have duties on the day of the contributor summit itself. So, but not everyone does. The because we need to fill in some more stuff. Particularly, we need hallway volunteers, and actually, I would say pursue that, because if you want to take a particular volunteer role, you might want to snag it now. Room proctors are filling up first for obvious reasons, but we do need hallway volunteers. To run the whole thing. And then one of the other things we're actually going to be doing today in the ops meeting that happens after this meeting, which I think everybody on here who's a lead should be thinking about, which is you should make sure, again, if your lead role involves doing stuff on the day of the contributor summit, you should make sure that your shadow has enough information or enough access to materials that they can carry out your role if for some reason you don't make it to the summit. Because all kinds of things can happen. People get sick, flights get canceled, people have other emergencies. Believe in one contributor summit, we actually had somebody break their ankle. So sometime in the next 2 weeks, it would be a good idea to confer with your shadows and make sure that they are capable of carrying out your role, should you suddenly be unable to do it yourself. And that's it for ops.
All right, thanks, Josh. Someone is at my door. Content. Give me 1 second, and Joel, just take over.
Okay, content. What do we have here from content? Do we have any of the content team here?
I am here. Sorry. I was trying
Okay,
to find the,
got it.
I was fumbling to find the unmute button. Let me see real quick. I don't think we had anything specific to add for today. There was a request to deconflict. I added this to the notes and I already forgot what it was. We had a request to deconflict the two LTS topics. So we're going to look at the schedule and make sure we can do that so that people can attend both of those. But other than that, I don't think we had any other changes from last time.
Okay, great. How's Unconference coming together?
So I don't think we've picked any of the topics yet. Let me check this item. I haven't looked at the.
Don't we do the final pick at the
Yeah.
Contributor Summit itself?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yes, the final pick usually happens after lunch. So basically at lunch, we fill in at SCAT, and then people can then select where they want to go.
Mhm.
So we update SCAT in the lunch break.
Trying to find the issue so I can see how many things have been submitted so far.
Too many. More than we're going to have time slots for.
Which
Yeah,
is fine, right? People
Yeah.
can vote at, and that's the point of it, that people actually vote for the topics, because it
Yeah.
also doesn't make sense if the person is not there.
there's actually 6 submitted so far. There were 7, but one of them got accepted. It was
really? Okay.
it was one that had been submitted and then wasn't accepted and then was added. It was one of the LTS topics. So there are 6
Okay.
currently.
Oh, okay. So there aren't too many then. Okay, but people still have time to add them. So
Yes.
because part of the idea of having the unconference portion was sometimes major urgent topics come up in the community like 3 days before KubeCon. So the okay. Back to you, Mario.
All right, thanks. Sorry for the interruption. I don't know if someone from comms is here, but Kathleen gave an update in Slack. So
I am
there's-
here for
oh,
comms.
Arvind,
Yeah,
then go ahead.
sure. Hi everyone. So for comms, for the last week, we sent out the schedule announcement and the call for volunteers email, which was a single email, and then the sick call outs for leads, which Mario said. And then up next, we have scheduled the meet and greet announcement email. And social event announcement in the next week, like due this week, and then 4 more reminders this week, which are the unconference reminder, sick call outs reminder, call for volunteers reminder, and registration reminder. And then after this week, up till November 11th, we have 1 more unconference reminder and the final registration reminder, and then the pre-event email and post-event survey emails. So these are all the emails we currently have in the pipeline for now.
Do we need anything else? Anyone else needs some more?
I can add the note about taking passport to the pre-event now before you go. But
Yeah, yes, this is crucial for the. I mean, we have in the Slack channel basically Brienne put in the admission criterias, and I would more or less put them also inside of the know before you go email. maybe
Are we having
we
a
even
separate announcement about the social?
yeah, there's a social event
Yes.
announcement email.
Yeah, so we can put the requirements in there as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And honestly, I'm thinking if we have an email at the very event day where we state this again. But this is something that we can discuss later. Next up would be social. Xander.
Yeah, so updated the website last week with the details about the location. Now that contracts are signed there, I will get a PR open this week for the ID requirements, just so we have that on the contributor website. And then placing the order for the puzzles this week. I believe that's where we are. Is there any other information that we need on the contributor website as related to the social? We have +1 information there. I think everything else is covered.
Last year we had, for Paris we had a small map with a walk how to get to the social.
Yep. I have oh, that's actually, I need to fix that. The image is not working on the website, but it was working in my local preview. So I need to figure that out. But yes, I have a Google Maps image where I had the walking directions from the convention center to the venue. Yeah.
I think this helps. I think this also helped in Paris. All right.
Yeah, we should also update the social page with the ID requirements.
Yep, that's on the list for this week. Yes, before I leave for SAS Fusion on Friday, I will get that PR in. So in the next couple days, we will have that updated. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, to Mario's point, we will get that in front of people as much as possible before the social. So contributor website, opening ceremony, email that day. I think we want eyes on that for sure.
I saw this also popping up at all of the other evening events that are happening around KubeCon. So basically, we are not alone with this requirement. So I think people will be bothered about this on a on multiple channels.
Yep, I still guarantee you that we're going to get at least 3 people who don't have their passports and are staying at a hotel a mile and a half away.
We can only do so much.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, and I asked a friend from Salt Lake City that they're actually really strict about this, because apparently the bar can get their alcohol license taken away for just one violation.
I have a completely unrelated question. How about the cube crawl at KubeCon? Is there going to be then no alcohol? That's going to be interesting.
I have no
All
idea.
right.
I mean, based as somebody who often has to work the event, I'm okay with their not having alcohol.
I'm as well, but I was just wondering because I know that we have in Paris, our company had bottle openers for as marketing.
Yes, but that's France, where the drinking ages can open the bottle. This is Utah, where it's where it's the state legislature contemplates banning alcohol entirely. So
just wait till you come to KubeCon London and the drinking culture there.
Yeah.
All right.
So
as James already started talking, you can continue with registration.
Sure. Okay, for registration, we have no specific updates. Updates on numbers, so we have a total of 144 applications, 13 of which were staff, 131 were non-staff, and of those, 124 were approved and 7 were not approved. That's it, really. That's all from us.
All right, then Ray, you have an update for the meet and greet.
So the meet and greet is scheduled for Thursday of KubeCon week from 12:30 to 2:30 at local time, and it is on Sched now. And we have some action items. We'll create an issue for SIGs to sign up to staff the SIG meet and greet, and we'll also do an announcement as well in form of an email later this week.
All right, that's good. I'm really looking forward to the meet and greet.
We got one volunteer for setup and cleanup for the meet and greet. Haven't had anybody volunteer to actually help with it the day of. So everybody knows one of the things that we realized from last time is that we need to have at least 2 people on receiving, probably more than that if we're going to be in the middle of Project Pavilion, because people will be coming in from all directions.
Yeah. I will also be around. And I can basically also do some shift there.
Yeah.
All right. Next up was then design, which basically was swag, but Josh already thankfully gave an update for swag. For design, the designs have been removed for the repository. They are going to be replaced, and there is now a watermark design, which actually looks really nice. And I think Keslin wanted to re-add them to the repository, and there's also a preview on the meeting document, so that you can have a look how this looks like. Also, they will be watermarked to be low-res PNGs, and there should be a PR either today or tomorrow. And we will update the lead handbook. Any other topic that we forgot? If not, I wish all of you who have a public holiday today a nice public holiday.
Oh.
And everyone else, a not stressful week.
Wait, whose holiday is today? So it's Canadian Thanksgiving, yeah?
Yeah, Canadian Thanksgiving, and someone said also there are some states in the US has something.
Indigenous People Columbus Day.
Yeah. Don't mix those two up.
All right. Oh yeah, and one more addition. I asked Chris Short to write something for the recognition for the Veterans Day, because basically Contributor Summit will happen at the Veterans Day of the US. And Jean, you are from the US, right?
Where is that?
You're US citizen, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I would ask that basically you take over this part, because as a German, I feel uncomfortable doing something like this.
Okay.
If this is okay for you.
Yes.
But Chris will draft something, so that we can basically do a recognition in the opening.
Sounds good.
All right. Any other comment? Then have a great week and see you next week, and I will stop the recording.